Now, people have often wondered, and by people I mean nobody,
Yeah.
why the fuck we keep on doing this if we don't get paid
Views.
and the views are pretty low.
Yeah.
And the answer is
Marcus. I'm just kidding.
Marcus, Buckaroo, Mickey Mike,
Yeah. Michael Keller.
all those fellas.
It's pretty sad that we could give a shout out to every single person in like 3
Yeah.
seconds.
Al Smith.
Yeah, Al Smith. Yeah.
No, but we do this because we like to do it, and we have fun doing it. We have fun talking about bullshitting in general. But you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it to see our other videos, although you might suspect it. And the mask might be a giveaway, but these are just characters we're playing. Now, that's not to say that we're disingenuous in what we say.
Yeah.
Obviously, when we're joking, being a character allows you to go a little bit further. You can say some raunchier stuff, or you
I
can
can
say,
say I'll suck AJ Styles' dick.
yeah,
freely.
and obviously it's a joke, and
Yes, clearly.
you could say some riskier stuff, and you could push the boundaries more with a character than you can just being yourself. But that doesn't mean, like I said, doesn't mean we're being disingenuous. It just means these are kind of masks adequately enough that we put on to get across a sense of humor or a sense of fun or a sense of conversation in general. But there is a reason for that. Now, before we explore that reason, just on my personal account, I can tell you that that for me, the character, quote unquote, that I am on our videos is basically the old me. An exaggerated version of the old me. A loud braggart that's very opinionated. And I'm kind of at odds with it. I'll be honest with you, and we'll get more into why this is, but I'll be honest with you, sometimes I'm kind of ill at ease with doing it because I find myself doing it too much, and then I find myself doing it in real life, which I don't want to do anymore. So sometimes for me, it's kind of like a nebulous gray area where I see the benefits of it, but at the same time, I see myself doing it in normal situations, and I don't want that to give the impression of that's who I am. But the point is, Ahab, the guy, the character that you see in the videos, is basically who I used to be.
Only
ratcheted up to like 11, maybe.
Only he's a pirate now.
Only apparently, yeah, I'm a pirate. But anyway, what can you tell us?
Ahag, by the way, is your new name.
Yeah, what can you tell us about Goontick?
Goontick is pretty much just me, I'm going to be honest with you, except that I don't talk that much in real life. Or I'll talk way too much and it'll be real annoying. I'm a person of extremes, I've noticed. I've noticed with our boy Guardian, when I'll be talking to him, he'll just tune out. He thinks I don't notice, but I do notice. And I tend to have that kind of effect on some people. So in this little outlet, I just kind of like, I'm a reactionary character with occasional moments where I try to speak up because I do want to break out of that little bubble. So this is kind of like an exercise for me.
Yeah.
Trying to break out of my stupid bubble. It sucks ass.
Now, initially, $10 Slimer was actually an idea that you and Guardian had when I was in prison. How did that come about?
Yeah,
and what was the original vision for $10 Slimer?
I'll say before that, before me and Guardian, there was an idea between me and a friend of the British nation. Yeah, that was bad. To do a little channel. And we actually did register the channel. I don't know if... Pretty sure you can't find it because I don't remember the name of it. But there is an account out there. But I'm not going to say someone flaked out. But they kind of did. So later, me and the Guardian were like, hey, we should do this little thing. And our original idea was just to do a little podcast talking shit. Because we had several themes that we could talk shit about for a long time. And then that was basically going to be 4 episodes of the channel. And then we'd probably run out of things to do and just never upload again. So it's probably good that we didn't start it. There was also an idea to do some game shit. But I'll be honest with you, that kind of was not something I was super interested in. It is something I want to do, but it's something I want to do differently than people because I'm not a big fan of like the guy who's just sitting there talking about the game. I'm more of a guy who's talking to someone and the game's just kind of there for you to if you wanted it, which is something we want to do when it comes to streaming, but maybe that'll happen at some point. So if we were to do that, it would have just been that way. Like we'd be playing something and then the game would just be like a afterthought. It would just be a way for us to be comfortable to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think ultimately, like you said, taking on a more shooting the shit angle, that's ultimately what the channel has become.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just two fucking guys and occasional guests shooting the shit. But that's not how it originally was. If you go back in our library, you might see some different stuff.
Yeah.
Or not so different, but, you know.
There was definitely some odd ones like we tried to do. We tried to do our solo projects pretty early on. With you having your more serious film reviews. Which were written. And if you can see the performance, you can totally tell it's written.
Yeah.
We're not good actors. Let's just put that out there. And then I also try to do my own little game thing. 2 episodes long. First one was a hit. Second one sucked.
I think ultimately it came down to... Well, first of all, we were trying to find our footing exactly where we wanted to go. Because initially the idea... You just threw out the idea... Or I guess brought it back up considering that the whole thing with Garden hadn't exactly panned out. But you brought it back up to all of us. Guardian and I, and you know, baby steps were taken. You acquired the equipment, and we began to do things. But yeah, initially our approach was going to be, I guess, much more serious. But at the same time, also we wanted to do skits and you know, kind of satirical skits at that. You know, so. That fell by the wayside pretty quick. And we did do a few, and we still kind of on occasional will pull one out of our ass.
I will say that most of the reason why that kind of stopped was because I had a turd computer, and it wouldn't allow me to do that kind of stuff. But also because we weren't that great at it. I think our more recent stuff is way better because we do basically take the idea of a skit, but then we just kind of do the shoot the shit while we film it, and then try to bring something out of that.
And I think there's definitely I mean, I'm not saying we're the ones to fill that need and that void, but there's definitely a need for that. You know, the idea of just chatting unscripted, you know, and like people like Red and Link who obviously made a fucking life living out of it. That's kind of why I like them, because there's really, I mean, they have scripted portions here and there, but it's really, especially the older stuff, it's just two guys talking.
Yeah.
You know, and there's something about that, and you know, you feel like part of something. You feel like you know the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, there's kind of like, it's kind of like a facsimile of friendship, like, oh, cool, man, I could get along with these guys.
Yeah.
Or even if you don't, I can hate these guys, or whatever the fuck, you know? And, I think ultimately that's what did it the best for us, personally speaking. Obviously not view-wise.
No.
But, you know, but we did toy around with a few concepts. Like you said, I wanted to do serious movie reviews. I wanted to focus on horror, which we still focus on horror a lot. But obviously our reviews can range from silly to it's so serious, and it doesn't matter. It's just us enjoying horror.
Yeah.
And you know, but yeah, the first ones I did were scripted. And that was the plan, but it wasn't gelling as a whole, because ultimately it had to be a channel where both of us were doing things, and freezing for a second there in the picture. But anyway, ultimately it had to be a channel where both of us were doing things that we both enjoyed, not two people doing two different things and hoping that somewhere along the way it would mesh together. But we did find those little skits that we were doing every now and then enjoyable. And, you know, it played with our more humorous inclinations. So we knew that humor had to be a part of it. And then we just decided to get a little bit more lax in terms of things. And I think that's when we began, like you said, that's when we began to hit stride. Now it's kind of like, with a, you know, occasional day off, we can pretty much get into it and get into the flow of things and you know,
Yeah.
get a video out.
And I will say that even though we have been doing it for a while, we do sometimes have a hard ass time doing them.
Yeah.
Whether it be like one of us is just not feeling normal or like up to it or whatever. But there is so many deleted takes that we don't use, so bad that they're not even in the blooper reels. But that, I mean, I think that's kind of a normal thing, and that is also another. That I think that also comes from the fact that we only film these like maybe two times a week, maybe.
Mm-hmm. In
Maybe,
bulk.
yeah, maybe one if on an off week. We film a bunch of them on one day, which is probably not a smart way to do it, but it is the easiest way to do it. And then you know what they say about us: those guys are lazy and fat.
Yeah, but what a lot of people might not suspect is that I didn't, and I say that because I'm the most vocal one in the videos. By default of, you know, you still trying to find your footing in terms of communication, but they might not suspect that I initially didn't want to do anything like this at all because, well, I had no interest in it to begin with,
right.
but what got me into the idea was that, and here's a little even behind the curtain of the curtain revelation here, is that upon my release from prison, things weren't fucking rosy here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You were pretty antagonistic towards my even being here, much less interacting and stuff. And it vacillated. At times you could be accepting, but that, if anything, that made it worse. That at times you could be accepting, and then
Yeah.
you know,
Well, it was definitely
180.
It was definitely a journey that I had to go through because we'll put that one out before this one. Like we said on our previous prison video, it's kind of a hard thing for the people who are around you too.
Mm-hmm.
And add to that the fact that I have some anxiety issues and some depression issues. It does make it hard. So it was something that I was trying to get past, but something that's still kind of hard to get past. But it's kind of a work in progress. And I felt that maybe the videos would be a way to do it.
Yeah, and likewise, and then that's the key word here, or phrase in this case, work in progress. And I thought this would be a good way to facilitate that happening. You know, the lines of communication can open. Certain things can be reestablished. Ideas could be communicated. You know, and concepts could be reestablished, or, you know, all kinds of stuff. You know, you learn a lot from a person's opinion. You know, even if it's about something as, you know, frivolous as a movie, you learn a lot about them. So I said this is a good chance to try to reestablish that, and ultimately for me that became the motivator. I said, okay, cool. Now I'll admit that it's been frustrating at times because I'm if we're gonna do it, let's do it type of guy. You know, I'm rip the band-aid off type of guy, I guess. You know what I'm saying? For better or for worse, you don't learn unless you do it. So sometimes for me it's frustrating when I'm like, could have done this 10 million years ago, but we're not doing it. But I will say that it's gotten far better in terms of the interaction. Whereas before, at the beginning, we had some tense moments where everything seemed to be okay, but then you know, again, trying to read people is hard when people are pretty, you know, protective of themselves, you know, and they shell up, understandably so.
I'll own up to him. I'm a pretty hard guy to read. I try, like, if I feel like pissed, I'll try not to show it until it bursts, and that's not a good thing, because we'll be making a video and I'll be totally fine, and then one thing will piss me off to the point where I burst, and then it'll be really weird. That doesn't happen often anymore. I don't think it's happened in a while, but it was a thing early on, because there was a, like I said, there was a thing we were trying to work through, and stuff comes up sometimes. So that was that. I could see how that was a annoying thing. We almost killed each other several times.
Yeah, it did lead to some awkward moments or some, long, dreadful silences. But ultimately, I, on the other hand, am not a person that holds their feelings. I'm pretty fucking straightforward. I'm of that cut of the cloth where they tell you, where I feel it's better to communicate something than not to communicate something. Don't get me wrong, I have tact. I know when to shut up, or sometimes I won't say something because there's emotional baggage behind it. So don't get me wrong, I'm not just blathering like a fool. But if I feel something needs to be communicated, I'll communicate it. And sometimes I can offend people, like a lot. And honestly, I don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn if you get offended about me. I'm not saying, it sounds like I'm saying that to you, but I'm saying it in general.
We'll have to fight each other right now.
I don't give a fuck if somebody gets offended about me being genuine about something. And again, that's not for everybody, and I recognize that. And if you can't take that, well, then we're probably not ever going to be friends in that regard. But I do my best to try to be accepting of people in general. Don't get me wrong. It's just I will be, expressive. Just like I feel that somebody should be direct and straightforward with me. I don't want somebody to be, a liar to me. I don't want nothing like that. I don't get uncomfortable with that. Just to use a stupid example, if you have a huge piece of spinach on your teeth, and nobody in the room is telling you, I'm gonna tell you, you have a huge piece of spinach on your teeth, and the initial reaction, I mean, this is a stupid example, but you know what I'm getting at.
That's not a good
The initial reaction of somebody telling you something like that is you feel hurt and offended and like an affront to you. Now imagine that magnified to something serious.
Yeah.
If I feel that I have to tell you something and it's serious, chances are I'm going to offend you. And you're going to probably read that the wrong way. But the way I've always thought about it is, if somebody has the testicular fucking fortitude to tell you the truth for your own benefit, then that's probably a good person, and or they're trying to do good by you. Short of them being an offensive jerk, which I'm not, but so a lot of people are kind of at odds with that sometimes, and that's before I went to prison, I wasn't so tactful with it. I just blended it in with my kind of brazen, out there nature.
And I'll say that does come out every once in a while, but you kind of learn to be like, all right.
Yeah. Now I've tried to be more tactful with it. The problem, then this goes back to something I said earlier. The problem is that ironically, because of these videos, I found myself blurring the lines a lot, and I don't like that. I don't like that because that's not who I want to be, and that's not who I am. But in full disclosure, and this is news to you, the reason I do that is because I feel that if I am who I really am, it's not going to interest you, like, at all. Like, if I was who I really am, 100%, not to say that I'm a fake guy here or whatever, but if I was who I am 100%, well, first of all, these videos would be boring as fuck, so you have to be a personality. And the easiest way to tap into that is, just tap into your more outrageous side and then go with it. And that's easy, because it's easy to go back to something, a frame of thought, or a reactionary state. That's easy. What's not easy is having self-control and going, this is what's up. You know what I'm saying? But the reason I've blurred those lines is because I don't know exactly where I stand with anybody. And I feel that it's taken me so long to establish any form of communication between you and me that now to go, this is, and I'll say that right now. This is who I am would be like going back to point zero again, and then I have to rebuild another bridge. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that who I am, you met upon my return. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But because you were not in a state to accept me at all, no matter who I was or whatever, at that point, that person was rejected. So I kind of had to take a back seat, and I had to reintroduce elements that were more present in the video form than they were, in who I actually want to be. So like stuff like cussing a lot and stuff, we do that a lot in the video. And then, that's just part of us being wanting to be open and just be expressive and say stupid shit and sometimes fill in the gap because we can't think of the right word or whatever. It's a variety of reasons. Plus the characters, plus, sometimes we hate a movie and we just want to yell it out at the top of our lungs, all that stuff. But in all reality, I don't like to do that anymore. But it's kind of like I felt like, oh fuck, now I've trapped myself in this little limbo here. So it's a weird state to be in. But anyway. So it's had its positives and it's had its negatives. But it's definitely not the tense affair it used to be. I think anyway. I hope not. For me it isn't, I'll say that. It's not the tense affair it used to be. So it's a much more easy affair. We do have a lot more fun. I think it's evident in the videos that we have fun doing.
You can usually tell when I'm not feeling too great,
and usually that's because of some physical something,
or I'm just feeling down or whatever. It happens. You can usually tell. Like I won't say much. You might say that may be every video, but I'll tell you to shut up. In reality, I'm kind of there you go. Save me here. I ran out of words to say.
Yeah, I mean, again, not to give the impression that whenever he's silent, he's not into it. He's naturally a quiet guy.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you could tell our energy is low, or, there's been times where you've been physically ill, or you've been, riddled with some form of anxiety or another, or you can tell, or, there's an unevenness.
Yeah, same with you. Sometimes you have a super day off, and it's...
Yeah, and usually for me, like, I'm the type of guy that, and I'll apply this in terms of sleep, if I go to sleep and I wake up, I'm ready to go like in, 30 seconds. There is no slogging around and, all that shit. It's rare that there is. I'm usually ready to go, and it applies to any situation. If they open the door, I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I'm waiting for open doors that never open a lot of the time. So, and I'm kind of stuck here, like, in life, I'm in a mire. So, for me, it's easy to switch from one point to the other. On top of that, what really might get me out of whack is if I'm insanely tired, physically speaking. Like, there's been times where I've been awake for 3 days, 2 days, and man, we hit a fucking wall with those.
Not good videos.
Yeah, it's just impossible.
Although that does, I will say that in recent times, whenever there is one of those, it has led to me being really frustrated, but not to the point where I'm pissed like I used to be. It's to the point where it's kind of funny, because you can see it in the video. Like, God damn it, really? So I've kind of learned to take something that would actually annoy me back in the day and make it into something that's like part of the video.
Yeah.
At least I think. Because I used to be, I still do every once in a while. I'll get annoyed at pretty stupid shit, and why bother with that shit? So instead, we'll use it for a video, or we'll make like a freaking blooper of it where it's like, God damn it, and it ends up being a joke of its own. So that's good.
Yeah, I have noticed that. I mean, that's progress all its own. I'm a very hard person to piss off, and I know it seems in some videos that I'm fucking angry or ranting or whatever. I'll rant about a movie, but does it piss me off? No, it doesn't piss me off. I might say it pisses me off. I might say I hate the actor, but I mean, obviously, that's a hyperbolic speech, obviously. But
except for Barry Manilow, I hate Barry Manilow.
I would, take a cruise with Barry Manilow.
Booze cruise.
That's about it. I would get drunk and hang out in, the lower portions of the ship and hopefully drown. But the point is,
All right.
I wouldn't hate burying Manilow. But the point is, yeah, man, I'm a hard guy to piss off, and it takes a lot to get me there. But I do have this fucking problem where I think it's funny when people get pissed off.
Yeah, it's not great.
I think it's fucking hilarious. And it probably has to do with the fact that I look at things from a completely different perspective now. So it's only made it worse. Before, I thought it was funny. After prison, I think it's hilarious. Like, I just think it's fucking funny, man. Like, because usually people get pissed off for the stupidest reasons. And I'll admit, I'll poke the fucking hornet's nest sometimes just for the hell of it. I mean, fuck, what can I say about that? I mean, that's just the truth. But that's not to say that, you know, my intention is to do that, you know, in a malicious way or something like that. But it's just something I fucking am prone to do. But I have noticed that you've improved dramatically in that sense, that you've learned to go with the flow and learned to accept that, you know, first of all, considering what we're doing here, it's no reason to fucking get mad about jack and or shit. Frustrated, sure. You know, sometimes it takes us so long to get something.
I will say that sometimes we do bring something out of it, like clowns on clowns.
Yeah, frustration can lead somewhere.
Shit, we're about to kill everyone on Earth, both of us. But at least it led to a video that was funny.
Yeah, I mean that's ultimately the payoff right there. But yeah, man, I just remembered that one time I forgot what the fuck we were filming. We were filming something with Guardian, and there was a definite miscommunication. I can't remember what it was, man. But anyway, whatever the fuck, it was a definite miscommunication, and I'm the kind of person that'll cut their losses before it escalates. You know what I'm saying? If it's a serious, you know, situation, like I'm not gonna argue. I'm just gonna. That's it. I'd rather preserve something than you know, bury it under 6 tons of fucking arguments. So that likewise can be read. I mean, man, this testament in fucking prison too. Walking away from an argument is unheard of in prison. It's either you fight or you're a bitch. But, you know, fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes I found myself in prison being like this voice of reason and moderation between people, to the point where people didn't end up fighting because I'd go and be like, look, let's be reasonable here, folks. You know? But applying that to oneself, that's like getting someone pissed off and then walking away, I found.
Yeah, that's not a good...
Which is really... And I mean, I'm not pointing a finger here, you know, for it sounds that way. But really that's testament to the other person, whoever it might be, because it's a matter of temper, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but then on top of that, you have to understand, or you know, I understood that there's a thin line where it goes from misunderstanding to understanding what the fuck the person is saying. And, you know, the go around for me was just telling people, look, if I walk away from something, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, because that definitely comes off as kind of douchey under, you know, a normal thing. Like, you know, if you don't have that clarity of like, this is what it is, someone being like, you know what, I'm gone is douchey. It can come off as douchey. Like, I'm not even taking place in this thing, not worth my time. That being said, the way you do it is not that way, but I could totally see someone being pissed off at that, and I'm not gonna lie, it was me. I got pissed at that.
Yeah, and you know, but ultimately, I mean, shit. If you don't communicate your intent, sometimes people are not gonna understand it, which I get. But I did, and that was that. But you know, it's just one of those things where, you try to, especially when people are used to you a certain way, and then you've introduced these entirely different elements into who you are. You're kind of like, you're coming out of left field for these people. Like, what the fuck? What is this? And then they project your old self onto whatever you're doing now and translate it to that. And that just comes out as ass. On account of my old self was ass. But the point is, yeah.
There was this one time where we were doing a vid. I wish I could remember what it was. It was that stupid. It was one of our wrestling vids where we were talking about something. Oh, it was the swag. That's what it was. You were talking about Hornswoggle, and you kept calling him the swag. And I guess the Guardian thought that I was pissed at that. And he like messaged you and messaged. It might not have been the swag, but I think it was
the swag.
He's like, what the hell was that swag thing, dude? And I was like, what? And turns out that he thought it was like a freaking life-shattering freaking event or something. We're like, seriously, the swag sucks.
I think that was the point where we'd learn to use whatever frustration.
Yeah.
And just,
because I know in the video I was like, seriously with the swag?
Yeah, and we just turned it up, to 11 and then went with it, just to make it funnier or whatever. And the swag just seemed particularly cutthroat for some fucking reason.
Freaking 7 foot wide. Anyway, it's the swag.
Another thing that we were glad you mentioned. Another thing we were doing a lot was wrestling review videos.
Yeah.
Again, kind of like a we were everywhere type of scenario.
We still kind of are.
Which is
why we moved those.
But now our theme song says it all. Yeah. Movies, music, story times. That's basically what we do. And they're all basically just shooting the shit about those subjects. Mm-hmm. Whereas, the wrestling video is in another channel now. And we just review stuff and rant about stupid things in wrestling.
Yeah. There was a time where we weren't really doing much on the channel. And there would be times where you would just see like three or four wrestling videos back to back. There was like a month in between each. Or maybe like 2 in a month, I think it was at the time. And that's literally all we were doing because we didn't have any ideas or the computer sucked massive ding-dongs or whatever. We didn't hit that stride yet. Whereas
now we got like 10 million videos.
I'm not gonna say we have way too many videos to put out, but it is a challenge to see which one's going to come out sometimes.
But ultimately, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is a good thing.
Whereas before we were scrambling for something, now we got a plethora of topics to talk about, and just a backlog. We can actually edit now because we have time.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean you. We can explore other ideas. We can do stupid shit. We have time to do a variety of things. So the backlog is good. So when you're seeing videos, chances are you're seeing a video we shot like 10 months ago.
1 grillion years ago before Earth existed.
There's a few exceptions if there's like breaking news that we think are particularly funny or we can talk about.
Yeah.
Like
Morgan Freeman.
Then you'll also see a recent video.
Another cue is if you hear in the audio or the computer has a Ghostbuster sticker. It's an old video.
Although now there are some old videos that have this computer.
Yeah, it's true actually.
The point is it's gonna end up where one of us is gonna die and you're gonna see videos and then one day out of the blue,
he's dead. By the way,
there's gonna be one guy and he's gonna be like, yeah, the other dude's dead.
He's been dead for like 20 years.
That's it.
Yeah, 20 years of backlog.
We're gonna be like Michael Jackson, only not cool
and shit.
And there's gonna be a backlog that nobody wants released ever. So not at all like Michael Jackson.
I do want to add to our little, not really philosophy because we never went that deep, but
definitely didn't go that deep.
But our way of making videos when it comes to movie reviews. This might change in that we'll probably start adding some little footage here and there from the thing or like some visual gags. Example being the Terrifier video, which I actually think came out pretty good. Something like that might be good. But I didn't want to do like some of these freaking review channels do where it's just nothing against them. They got way more views than us. But where it's just like a good example, Nostalgia Critic, where it's just let me show you the entire film and say like 1 or 2 jokes. And then the rest is just scenes from the movie.
I think one of the times we should do it is when we're talking about a scene in particular.
Yeah,
So we can find that scene. And
that
that'll be
makes
a good thing.
sense.
But yeah,
But at that point, it's not a review. It's just
just
like,
watching the movie.
yeah, like riff
You
tracks.
know, crappy version.
And some people do it well. Like, you know who does it pretty good? Freaking James Rolfe, Cinemassacre, where he'll show some scenes, but it's still just him talking about the movie.
Yeah.
That's good. But showing the whole movie, it's like, come on, dude, you're freaking begging for a copyright strike, and then when you get it, you're gonna cry about it. So that's something we don't want to do. Maybe we'll start doing that a little bit, like the Terrifier, or like when we're talking about specific scenes, find the scene. We do need to do something to make those a little more interesting because they are pretty long. But you know, that'll come with time, I guess. I will say that those are the easiest ones we do because all I have to do is just insert the theme and the end thing, and that gives me time to work on the other videos that have a little more time. You know, like some cutaway gags or whatever. So those are good for, like, you know, I could do a quick vid while I'm working on something else. So that's good.
That being said, if you have any ideas that you might want us to do, you know, we're not adverse to trying them or at least considering them.
Yeah.
You know, we've done several videos for viewers because gotta appreciate what you got.
Yep.
And we do that. That's one thing we do. That's right, we do.
Feces.
Yeah, you know, we're appreciative of whatever views we get. We don't give a fuck. We don't care. We're not going to censor ourselves. So short of YouTube banning people for cussing or, you know, risque humor, you know, of whatever quality, we're not going to censor ourselves. So money's out the question. We don't want to ever ask for money. However, if we ever get enough viewers to where we feel like, and this is a healthy amount of people that we feel that for the few viewers we have.
Yeah.
So, like a responsibility to put stuff out there and, you know, just shoot the shit with them as best we can. But if there were more and there was a more responsibility, then we might consider a Patreon then, if anything, to fund, you know, little things like equipment or whatever. But that's definitely never been our goal.
Yeah, I have been asked about it a couple times on Twitter, and it's kind of like it kind of feels gross to do it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's very few people. We don't want to ask them for handouts, basically, because we're not at that point where we need money to fund the videos. If we do get to a point where we're like, hey, let's do some more, you know, adventurous stuff, or let's try to upgrade the stuff, and that would make sense. But right now we're kind of like in a mode where we don't need the money. I mean, we do for life, but not for the videos, and it feels icky to ask people for money for freaking, hey, I need to go buy some freaking tampons or some shit for my asshole bleeding. That may have the workings of a woman wrong in my head. Let's just roll with it. So yeah, that's definitely. I don't think that's something we'll do anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But you never know.
It may come to pass, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't do this for money. I don't have fucking job. You know, it's been hard with the whole prison thing, and you know, there's just so much. I had a lawsuit put on me. So on top of being an ex-con, my credit is ruined. You know, so even if I had money, I'd be bleeding it out my butt.
That's what
so
tampons
I get
are
the tampons
for,
apparently. But you know, and so we're on a very strict budget. But the whole point of this is to just have fun and you know, chat about whatever nonsense we want to chat about, and we can do that just fine with what we got right now. Now, in time, of course, obviously, can't have the same structure forever.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So, inevitably, there will have to be changes. But when we do that, I think we should just bleed them in as carefully as possible and make the change gradual rather than abrupt. Although maybe abrupt would help, but whatever. Either way, we're not going to get paid by YouTube on account of the massive cussing.
That being said, our YouTube Red series is coming. It's called Fat Guys Suck.
And nobody's gonna watch that because nobody watches YouTube Red.
Oh shit!
Or the original, I guess, except for that Red and Link. Gotta watch that.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I guess Cobra Kai apparently is pretty good.
Yeah, that's apparently good. Still sucks though. YouTube
I don't know how we got to that, but the point is,
our YouTube Red series coming soon.
Anyway, got anything else to say about our behind the scenes look behind the scenes?
There is one there is one video. Our earliest video that you can find is the $10 Slimer review. There's one before that. It's not good.
At that point, we had a rating system.
Yeah, we did.
We had different masks.
Yeah, which you can actually see in the $10 Slimer video. We actually had. This might be an amusing anecdote. I had bought a camera on Amazon for pretty cheap, and it was an HD camera that was I think Chinese, so that's always good.
Best sign of quality.
So the first video actually looks pretty good. The lighting is terrible because the lens would capture only in like super freaking dark colors for some reason. We had to have like freaking the surface of the sun next to us for you to be see it. But visually it looks okay. The problem is the audio on that baby sucked my nut off. So I had to do like this little trick. I know a lot of people do it, but it's kind of like when you don't know anything about video making, it was kind of a challenge, especially with our old shitty camera. We would record the audio separate and then put it in. So it actually came out okay, that video. But quickly I realized this camera sucks my nuts because it wouldn't let us do anything. So the first video that you can see, the $10 Slimer review, is filmed on an Xbox Live Vision camera, which is why it looks like shit. Needless to say, that camera has been used to see many a dick on Uno. But I decided, hey, let's try this, and it looks like ass. It is the worst video visually that we've done. Visually, it's actually a pretty good video. I like it. But that Vision sucks. Xbox Live Vision camera.
That was also partly scripted.
Yeah, it was.
So there's that, and we also did another video. Well, we did several skits, but there's one that's kind of controversial. If you don't have a sense of humor, don't see that one.
Yeah.
But the point is, it was a joke. Get over it.
Yeah.
You want to know which one? Go look for it. You'll find it.
No, we haven't gotten any backlash, but just in case, watch this little part of the vid. It is a vid, and it's out there. so there you go.
The point was, it was supposed to speak about.
Yeah.
It was supposed to speak about how PC our culture has gotten.
Now I will say
and
that
we used the fact that we enjoyed certain aspects of culture to point that out. We're going into the satirical territory, but shit, with everybody getting sensitive nowadays.
I will say that most people, if they were called out on a video like that, they would disown it. I like that video.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
If you don't get it, then you're a fucking retard.
It's a great one.
Because we're retarded, and it can't be that clever. It's not clever at all. The point is pretty clear.
Yeah.
But
there was one thing that I wanted to go back to, which is something we have done recently, which I'm kind of glad we did. I don't know how the audience feels about it. All three people. I don't know how anyone else feels about it. I know I like it though, and that's our old Feldfold style, having a little picture and reacting to it.
Yeah, that's actually something we might explore now because we are fans of H3H3. But we've noticed, of course, that H3H3 is more focusing on their podcast now. And, they have there's like a vacancy, a void that needs to be filled. Not to say that we'd be the adequate people to do it.
Yeah. We definitely wouldn't want to do like a Jinx shit where it's just putting a trailer and shit.
Yeah. But doing a reaction to something would be pretty awesome. Not a reaction like your standard reaction video, but more in the H3H3 vein. Only 10,000 times less funny.
Oh yeah.
But since they're not really doing that anymore, I was like, man, that'd be pretty cool to explore. Again, they do it because they love it and they actually make money out of it. We just fucking don't make money out of it, so might as well just try it.
So that might be something we try. It is something that's probably gonna take us a few tries because I don't think it'll be an easy thing to do because we're used to this crappy style. which I like. It's like the fake Red and Link, only if they weren't funny.
Fat and
Yeah.
chunk, they call us.
They weren't funny. They were fat. They were a lot less gay. And, you know, we're married and we're losers. In other words, we're the depressing Red and Link.
Yeah, we should redub our channel.
Yeah,
depressing Red and Link.
Damn, we should.
Or
Now,
depressive fat and stink.
Look, that's a good one, by the way. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna break
Kayfabe.
Yeah, break kayfabe here for a second, and say something that I've been kind of holding in my little brain box for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hate the channel name.
Our channel name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it too. I mean, it's like once you name it, that's it. That's pretty much you're done with it.
No.
And we based it off of a single fucking video,
which was the first one we made, by the way. After that, the one note joke kind of doesn't make any sense.
You got to keep in mind that we started the channel at the height of the Ghostbusters 2016 controversy.
Yeah.
So one of the things we addressed was Ghostbusters 2016, and our first officially released video was a tongue-in-cheek review of a Ghostbusters
$10
Slimer figure that was played as serious, but then turned into a complete joke by the end. But that's pretty much all we talked about Ghostbusters, with the exception of a few other times.
Pretty much. Now, we have tried to keep up the facade by having $10 Slimer in every video. But at this point, not gonna lie, kind of hate the name. Now, at this point, I think we're too late to change it. Well, not really. It's not like we have any views. But I feel like we kind of have to ride out with it. I have created some little channel art. Hopefully that'll... I'm not gonna lie, I did the little channel art too to try to make me like the name again. Because I was like, God damn, hit a wall with this name. I need to do something to reignite the love.
Special props, by the way. This deserves mentioning, I think, and I think you'll agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons we went ahead and actually went from this is an idea of something we can do, and put aside the fact that there was legitimate reasoning behind why we were doing it. One of the reasons we decided to make the leap was because of Al Smith.
Yeah.
And his own channel.
The Al Smith channel.
And we were like, you know what? Old Al can sit around and chatter about Ghostbusters and the Titanic and shit. Why can't we?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Why
much.
can't we shoot the shit like Al? So we were like, fuck it, let's just do it, man. Why not?
I do want to say shout out to Al.
Yeah.
We haven't loved everything he does, but we just for example, we disagree with him in Ghostbusters, and that's public knowledge. In our Ghostbusters video, we kind of shit on him a little bit, but he took it like a champ.
Yeah, we did it all as
Yeah, it wasn't like we're shitting on the guy. It was just like a little jest, and he took it like a dude. And he's giving us some shout outs. Cool guy, it seems like. Yeah, so shout out to Al, I guess.
Yeah, I remember us seeing like 10 million Al Smith videos in the weeks prior to us starting our channel.
Yep.
And then one day we're like, you know what? Fucking Al's doing this shit.
Might as well.
Might as well do it ourselves.
Might
Fuck
as well
it.
do it like Al.
Get down with Al Smith. But yeah, shout out to Al Smith. Now, in case you haven't seen our Ghostbusters 2016 video, I'm going to summarize it like this. We didn't hate the movie.
No.
Doesn't mean we loved the movie.
Nope.
But we didn't think it deserved all that it got thrown at it.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to get into details, then go check out the video.
When compared to Ghostbusters 2, it's not that bad.
Yeah, man. Ghostbusters 2 is not great.
It's pretty bad.
The point is, Al Smith deserves some props.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't think of anything else unless you got something else.
I do want to say, as a final thing, that I do kind of want to do... I do want to do... Because we did do this early on. Like, we did kind of like the challenge shit. The Bean Boozled and, the mayo shit. Disgusting, by the way. I do kind of want to do that, but I kind of want to steal from Red and Link again.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea for it. We just haven't done it yet. Of incorporating a little game into it and having that being a punishment, like eat a Bean Boozled or whatever. So maybe we'll try to do some
We're
more.
gonna try to do that. Like with, it'd probably be good to like bring in Guardian to do that.
Yeah.
So there's more fatalities on the screen.
Yeah, definitely have some interesting shit we want to do.
Actually, you know what? That deserves mention too. In case people are still wondering what the fuck, why does Guardian just sporadically appear, disappear, etc.? Why is he not included in the theme song?
He is in the extended theme.
He is. I mean, he visually, but he's not in the lyrics.
That's a good point.
The lyrics specifically point out two corpulent dudes, not three.
Yeah.
To be fair, he's not huge, but the point is, Guardian and you, as we said, initially wanted to do a channel. That was not $10 Slimer. That was not going to be its name, nothing like that. It had to do more with with the scenario we just explained. But the point is, once it did get started, he was not initially here, with the exception of wrestling videos.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, long story short, yeah, it's sporadic appearances. You know, he has a job, he has a life, etc. So it just kind of became, especially when we were producing videos en masse.
Yeah, that's a thing.
You know, there was super long stretches where there would be absolutely zero Guardian, and then all of a sudden he'll just appear all of a sudden, and we'll film some with him, and then they'll sporadically pop up. You know, so he's part of the channel. It's just keep in mind that we film
the way we film
things
our
in
vids,
bulk, and then
I do want to do a Jurassic Park
I will
review.
say, yeah, with him,
He definitely has to come in with
he
that
likes
one.
to suck dino dick a lot. But this has led to him being awkward on camera, comparatively, because we've kind of gotten to be at ease with it, and he's still kind of like, what the fuck? But
what is this?
that's okay, because that's how it goes. But the point is, yeah, of course he's part of the channel. But that being said, when we commissioned, and by commissioned I mean asked McBallium to maybe do a little jaunty little tune for us, as far as he knew, it was only me and you, so 2 corpulent dudes.
All right.
Not 3 corpulent dudes. To be fair, again,
he's not that.
Guardian's not corpulent.
He could have worked in the fact that he broke his wrist or something.
Yeah.
Moldy cheese,
something.
anything.
The point is, if you add Guardian to the song, it sucks. So he's not in the song. But yeah.
Also, you might be confused by his appearance in the long extended theme, which no one's seen, so I don't know why I'm referencing it. That was his older look,
which is no longer here.
Yeah, I do want to redo that theme with like more updated visuals. Although I do kind of like how it is. I don't know. We'll see. We got some shit coming up. Pretty much is the gist of this vid.
Now I'm scratching my ear.
Yep.
Because there's something in it.
Yep.
My mask stinks. That's another thing. Initially, we had wrestling masks.
Yeah, we did.
And I like how we were winding this video down.
Yeah, we were. It's happened several times.
We had originally had wrestling masks. I used to collect wrestling masks. We used to wear the wrestling mask. But one thing we found out really quick was, 1, wrestling masks are hot.
Yeah.
2, they restrict the range of motion of your jaw. So
you
can't.
Sound kind of weird.
Yeah, you can't express yourself 100%. So they went by the wayside. So if you're wondering where I got this snappy mask, and by snappy I mean crappy, this is just an old Obama shirt I had. You buy those shirts during election years, and you wonder, why the fuck did I buy that if I'm never going to wear this again?
I do want to say that it was also like a cholo cut shirt.
It was.
So it was like super slim but long as shit.
And I wore it too. I didn't give a fuck.
It was like a little dress.
It was a dress, man. Mini dress on me. Imagine that.
Yeah.
But I just cut that little Obama shirt up and cut some eye holes in it. Gave myself a proto Daredevil mask.
Yeah.
And you
found a mask on Amazon. It's pretty much the origin story of mine.
Yeah.
I do want to upgrade it, as in I want to get another color. But we'll see. I do want to. I know this is why we started talking about the mask. This mask stunk several weeks ago. Like it smelled like shit. Complete ass. We could have taken the advice of old Michael Keller and or Higgins. Don't remember which one. Probably both of them. And washed it. But that's not how we do things here. so we just kind of left it there. Picked it up today. Didn't smell.
Mine hasn't stunk in a while, so I guess
I
I guess it went to the same ebbs and flows that yours did. But today I picked it up and man, it's not good. It smells like feet,
Yeah.
like straight up feet, dude.
You know what's funny? We kind of came up with like some running gags. Let's talk about the running gags real quick before we end this one. We kind of just stumbled across them.
There was
like
a running gag of you being gay for a long time.
I've kind of kept it alive.
It's still going.
Um,
Let's just say the AJ Styles thing may be based on reality.
yeah. Yeah, that is the thing. We originally had like ideas to have like actual story developments, and for some reason, me being gay was one of them. Don't know where it was going, but I know you were really, really into pitching that. And I was not into it for a while. Then, weirdly enough, when you decided to drop it, I fell into it. And now it's kind of a thing. Anyway, AJ Styles, pretty hot. Besides that, Gay Racula is pretty epic.
Gay Racula. You got your facial disfigurement.
Yeah. Ass cam.
Ass cam.
Ass cam must come back.
Yeah, ass cam's definitely coming back. Got some high grade equipment filming my ass 24/7. It's not good.
That's another one. It's not good. Now this wasn't like a thought out thing. It's just because we suck with words.
You know,
we default to it's not good.
The thing is, I can be articulate. It's just once you're on camera,
yeah, it's
kind of hard to
yeah.
You're kind of under pressure, so you're like, oh shit, what do I say now? And we could do 1,000 takes, but considering that the take you're seeing is the 1,000th take,
yeah,
that says a lot.
Yeah, there's many videos where we film an entire thing, and then by the end, while I'm doing it or whatever, afterwards we're like, oh, we forgot this.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
So that's why we don't plan shit anymore.
But it's not good.
So the guy holding our fucking cards over there, our cue cards, is just a skeleton now.
Yeah, he is.
Formerly Stan Lee. Didn't know that, did you?
Nope.
You know why? It's been a skeleton this whole time.
Yeah, he is. They've been parading him around. It's not good. I'm a pretty big fan of it.
I think my favorite running gag is associating the Cumbia Kings to retarded people.
That's a good one.
Now, that's another thing we should probably touch upon. We do say things that could be perceived as offensive, i.e.
Cumbia Kings.
Saying retards and stuff like that.
Talking tards.
This is not a slight on people that are, special. It's just the association of the word tard to somebody stupid. It's pretty funny to us. It's a funny word.
Yeah.
Now, when we do it in reference to actual people that are special, I mean, you just have to listen to the story where we're talking tards. That's right. Just go back to using. If you listen to the story, actually listen to the root of the story, you can kind of see that obviously we're joking.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I'm talking about having, these people with me and they liked me.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, come on.
I kind of hung around.
It's kind of like if people were talking about us and they call us fat lards.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get fucked up about it.
I was in a special class for a while. Let's not talk about that, though. They did really like me, too. Anyway. Tards.
We're playing that Cumbia Kings 24/7 hard.
Damn, I had another point that I want to make, but I forgot it.
Probably had to do with Elvis Crespo jacking off on a plane.
Yeah, dude.
Just gonna leave that hanging there.
Anyway,
it's been Ahab and the Goon Tick giving you a little sneak peek behind the lard. See, we don't care.
Oh, damn it! I remember my point, but
no, go ahead. Fuck it.
That Talking Tards video, I was a little iffy about putting it out.
Mm-hmm.
I sat on that baby for weeks. I was like, man, we put this Talking Tards video, we're done. All our 3 subs are gonna be gone. They're gonna shun us forever. But then one day in the morning, I was like, screw it, put Talking Tards on. People seem to like that one. Little Buckaroo was like, it's some good tard tales.
Yeah, man, it's all in jest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What can I say?
I do like that I was iffy about putting the Talking Tards video up, but not the other one that we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I don't know. You said weeks. That shit was in the can for months.
Yeah, it was months.
I was like, man, it's funny. It's funny.
I even brought it up. Like, dude, I don't know about this Talking Tards vid. You're like, it's funny. I'm like, all right.
And lo and behold, Nobody cared.
Nope.
Because nobody watches.
I didn't think about that part for some reason. I was like, oh man, everybody's gonna hate us. That being said, I think we found our little udder to milk for a little bit. Porno vids.
Yeah, apparently,
Shit.
just putting porno in the title gets you a few fucking extra hits. And in our case, it's a colossal
Dude.
fucking amount of hits.
Dude, did you see our latest one? 240 something? I was like, shit! It's more than most of our videos make.
So we'll probably milk that tea
Oh,
every
yeah.
now and then.
Mm,
Smash or Pass is fun anyway, but the point is,
porno versions.
porno versions apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
If you see our future titles have a random porno in there, you'll know why. Top 10 horror films porno.
This is all leading to a gay Racula joke.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna pay off well.
You know what the joke is? Gay Racula. That's literally the joke.
I mean, it's the best joke ever.
Yeah.
That movie exists.
Fun fact:
I can die now.
our boy Marcus wanted to buy it for us and send it in.
Dude, Marcus,
We couldn't find it,
if you got this far, you find that movie.
and we'll watch it.
We'll fucking watch it and review it.
Damn, that'd be a good video. Horrible for us though. A lot of dick.
Gay Racula.
Anyway,
For president. Then I can turn his shirt into a new mask that won't stink.
yeah. Well, it might stink like ass. Cause it's bare ass.
And cocks.
Shit.
Anyway, this has been Ahab and the Goon Tick chatting, shooting the shit about a little behind the scene garbage, nonsense, drama. Nah, not drama. Point is, hit like, share, subscribe. Thank you for joining us in this podcast. We're out.